we need to talk about Oscar Klefbom.
Ah, yes.
So, and then we're going to talk about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Quite the Klefbom that was dropped.
Oscar Klefbom next week is getting surgery that will end his season. He'll be ready for training camp.
Good.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I think I missed that one.
So that's happening. So why then
Did it take so freaking long?
is he playing? Why is he still playing?
Can we just say plainly hockey's not a smart sport?
Well, because
What?
Like,
why?
Shut
Why
him
was he
down.
playing?
Shut him down.
No, so there wasn't the rumor that he was being showcased?
Okay, well, if the resume from the last season and a half isn't enough for you, then you're not going to trade him. Like, if a team's like, well, no, I need to see him now, right before his injury, because I want to know how good he is now as he's injured.
Like,
Are you kidding me? No, it's not.
As much as we've made fun of the Oilers, like there's a number of statistics that would seem to suggest that this year is probably an outlier. And
Yes.
next year, they might not be world beaters, but they should be in playoff contention. They should
Sure.
be way better. Wouldn't you want Oscar Klefbom to be perfect and good and ready to go and have lots of training camp under him and lots of summer to get ready? No, they waited like at least a month on this shoulder issue to shut him down. For what?
And they haven't shut him down. That's my point. They haven't shut him down. He played last night.
So wait, when's he getting the surgery?
Next week.
What is... Hockey's a dumb sport. Like, let's just call it what it is.
Is hockey a dumb sport, or are there just organizations here that need to get their brains checked?
Organizations. Multiple. Like,
That's
let's
insane.
not rip on Peter Chiarelli like he's the first person to ever do this.
He's not.
Or the last. It's a dumb sport. Dumb at the top, dumb top to bottom, and it's got to get fixed.
If you're showcasing Oscar Klefbom at his best, show him last year.
No, we need to see more.
We need to see him. No, we want to see him playing at 75% injured with a shoulder injury. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing that gets me.
If you show him off at 75%, expect to get 75% of your expected return.
Yes. And people were
75
saying,
might be generous.
what if it was Oscar Klefbom who wanted to play? Well, I'd say too bad.
Yeah.
We're leaving your skates in a locker and they're going to be locked up. You can't have them.
Yeah.
Like, wait, I don't understand. This is not his choice. Believe it or not.
I don't get it.
Believe it or not, it's not John Tavares' choice to play for the Islanders every night. They can choose to scratch him.
And it's
He
so
doesn't
funny.
have to play.
You got a coach like Mike Babcock who like wears out the knees in his pants, begging and pleading with the team to get players back. It seems like, and they won't give them to him. You know why? Because the team says no.
Do you guys want to hear what Klefbom said about playing through this injury?
I would love
to.
So, Oscar Klefbom says, it's going to be a big year for me on this team next year, so I want to be 100%. And now is the time to get my shoulder repaired. Makes sense.
That's okay. Not what I expected to hear.
This is from the Edmonton Journal, by the way. The writer writes, this begs the question. Why bother playing a game or two if he's headed for surgery and won't play again once it's done? Good question.
Great question.
Right? Yeah. All right, Mr. Klefbom, what do you say? I want to be there for my teammates. I've been having this issue for a long time.
Dumb sport.
Every player has bumps and bruises. I just want to play through it. I've been playing with this injury for many years. That's not going to stop me. And I want to be there on the ice with the guys and help them out any way I can. Until the procedure, I want to be on the ice and help them.
Can we just...
You get one life, Oscar. Fix your shoulder.
Can I just throw this out there?
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you want a long, fruitful career or not?
And
men are stubborn and hockey is stupid. It drives me up a wall. Why won't this sport just let me love it? Oh, we're going to fuck with the playoffs because we have 32. Let me love you, you dumbass sport. Yes, Adam?
I think my major point of contention with that would be, again, it's no player's choice to actually, like, if you give the player the choice, they're going to play. But the thing is, the choice is always the team's choice. Austin Matthews never has to play a game for the Leafs again. It's up to the Leafs, right? It is up to the Leafs. If they wanted to scratch Austin Matthews for the remainder of his contract, they could. They are well within their contractual rights to do that. Not a smart move, but you can. And in this particular case, first off, Jesse, do you want to reread the first sentence from that quote again, or from that article?
Before he goes into why he's not playing?
Yes.
He said, it's going to be a big year for me next year on this team.
Hold on, right there. It's not because you'll be on a different team. And that's what I think's going on here. Elliot Friedman said this in 31 Thoughts. They're showing him off for a potential trade. And I don't freaking get it either. and it's that this is all around just bad. It's a terrible idea. And I don't care if the shoulder injury is okay enough that you can play. That shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be, I'm healed. If you want to be there for your teammates, be there in the dressing room. Be there support. You can't tell me that it's the right choice on an already injured shoulder to continue to play hockey in the number one league in the world with the hardest hitters in the world. You can't tell me that's a good choice.
Does this change your mind at all? Todd McClellan said, there's no risk of anything. He's played for 3 years or however long he's had it. There's no risk of any damage at all.
I don't believe you.
That's not true.
I'm not going to
That's
deny
categorically
him the
not true.
opportunity of contributing to this team and playing in front of his fans because he has a procedure scheduled for later on when there's zero risk of any more damage.
Categorically untrue.
I don't believe
Because if you continue to play, what do you expose yourself to? More injury.
I don't think Todd McClellan is lying. I just think he's misinformed and he's wrong. Okay. In the same breath, he acknowledged that he has an injury and then said it can't get worse. Is there an injury that exists
That can't get worse.
that can't get worse?
And if it's already
hockey,
and if it's at rock bottom, then he shouldn't be playing. If it's so bad that he can't, that it's already the worst it can be.
But he's been playing with it for 3 years, so it's fine.
It's fine. Imagine how much better Oscar Klefbom would be.
Here's the other part that gets me.
We'll never know.
The other part that gets me is it's not as though he couldn't sustain another injury. He's got one injury. No, he's at his peak. That's the most injuries that you can have at one time. This isn't a video game. This is a guy who isn't playing properly to work with this shoulder that he has that has obviously become a huge issue. He's played with it for the last 3 years. Now it's so unbearable that he's got to shut it down early in the season. And not early in the season, but early enough in the season that you're not playing a full 82 games. Don't tell me that it's that there's no potential for other injury. That's ridiculous. It's a joke. It's a joke.
So I'm looking at my favorite one, my favorite one from a few years ago of a player. Just, you know what? I just want to be there for my teammates. You know what? I just want to play strong, prove to you all, blah blah blah. We got a real chance to do something. So, Joe Colburn, Toronto Maple Leafs. He is in the Marlies. He's on the Marlies. Sorry.
What year is this?
In the American Hockey League. This is the 11-12 season. This is the year the Marlies went to the Calder Cup final.
I remember this. With Scott Clemenson.
Yeah, and please correct me if I'm wrong. No, that was with Ben Scrivens.
Oh.
No, Clemenson might have been on the team. I think you're thinking of the infamous year where Greg Gilbert, the head coach, played Clemenson instead of Pogge and everyone freaked out.
Yes, that might be it too.
So, Colburn I think he won AHL Player of the Week honors or Player of the Month honors several times. He had 35 points in the first 41 games. Final 24 games. Anyone want to take a guess what his stat line was? Goals, assists, points?
So Joe Colburn's final, how many games?
24.
24 games.
This is one of the league's leading scorers. He's almost a point-a-game player.
One scored 20 goals for the Avalanche too.
You bet.
I know what you're going with this. I know what happened to him, so I'm going to say not a lot.
Give me a stat line. Goals, assists.
Goals, assists. I'm going to say last 20 games.
24.
24 games. He was playing about a point per game clip.
Yep.
Before that.
So I'll say down to half, 5 and 5.
I'm going to say 1 and 3.
Or sorry, 6 and 6. I'm going to say 6 and 6.
Jesse got the points right, but it was actually 0 goals, 4 assists.
In 24 games.
In 24 games. Here, let me go ahead and look at his playoffs. How many did you do in the playoffs that year? 2012 Calder playoffs. Hey, in 15 games, 2 goals, 6 assists. Much better.
Right.
Much better.
Counter argument.
Freaking guy's wrist didn't work. His wrist did not work.
That's why the Leafs handle injuries different now.
And then they traded him for a 4th. And then he signs a big deal in Colorado. Colorado.
But that's why
back in the minors, by the way.
Leafs have handled the injuries much, much different now. And your counterpoint.
As 3 guys who's never sat in the locker room and
I have sat in the locker room, just not an NHL one.
Sat in an NHL locker room and taped our sticks next to our brothers.
Our comrades.
How do we know the real effect of having that guy there next to you in your dressing room?
We'll never know. Or having a paid babysitter.
So maybe
We'll never know.
Matt
Martin's in the lineup tonight.
Klefbom playing these 2 games means a lot to McDavid and the boys there in Edmonton.
I just don't understand.
I think they all just want to get the season out of the way and go get on the golf course and forget about it. Forget it even happened. And I don't blame them for that.
Oh, trade your best winger.
Well, and that's
and then trade your second best winger, and then ruin your best defenseman, and then just do whatever you want. Hey, your fans will justify it. Like one thing, Oilers fans like, God, let me.
Yeah.
It's my new favorite TV show on Twitter. Is watching Oilers fans talk about how bad their team is and how they cannot understand why. I don't know. The Hall move was great. The Strome move was great.
no, it wasn't. But
it was. Easter piece of shit.
The thing with Strome that gets me is that like he is playing at exactly his career average this year. He's had a good year for him.
We didn't get it. We don't understand what the issue could be.
But that's because you traded a $6 million player for a $2.5 million player. There's going to be some skill difference. And I know Strome was a 4th overall pick, but let's not pretend that Strome is a guy that should have been a 4th overall pick, all things considered. He's a 30 to 35 point guy.
No, Strome...
Was he? Oh, no, that's Dylan Strome.
Yeah.
I got another Strome.
He was still top 10.
Yeah.
He was top 10.
So he's a top 10 guy. Maybe he shouldn't have been. But the guy still scores. He scores like what, 35, 40 points a year?
Ryan Strome was drafted 5th overall.
Hey.
So Dylan was 4th.
I didn't realize it was that high.
That was the Coyotes' Dylan Strome I was thinking about. But anyway, regardless, you got a guy who scores 35 points a year max. He's done that for you.
Look, I don't want to do this again because someone sent me this great picture. And they didn't follow me, but it was the Eastern media when they have an opportunity.
They didn't follow me.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
so they don't matter. So it was the Eastern media when the Oilers are bad, and he just tweeted a photo of a gentleman with his hand outstretched, getting moisturizer on his hand and tissues in the background. Yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward to it, guys. Picking on the Oilers is my favorite hobby.
Didn't you write an article about how excited you were for the Oilers
And
last
they
year?
still told me F off. So you know what, F you. How about that? How about, except for the good ones, like, I don't get it. I don't get, no, sure, you're doing fine. You're doing great.
Mark Spector
How
wrote
many
an
times
article.
can you offer advice and be told to F off before you're like, all right, you know what, you F off too?